Okay, so this is a trade review on January 13th, 2023. Starting off, once the stock or once SPY gets a little bit higher up, I'm gonna just go over through what I did, and let's go from there. So initially, I'm already long here, 396.52. Um, Basically, this long tail here, I was thinking, okay, it rejected that price, came down, but then it bounced right off of the EMA. We are getting into this resistance point up here. My target was just 397 from where we currently are. I think it was a little too early to be getting in this. I think I'm in the right spot actually, but it's just a little too early in terms of holding it. Like right here, I should be seeing a flush or just more momentum. I should be shooting through this high of about 397.70. Um, 396.70. It should be kind of just shooting through that. The tape isn't moving. Like you see all this level 2 stuff, but there really isn't anything happening here. So I am in this. I did add, and it wasn't going my way quickly enough. I do get out when it gets about 396.30. So I lose about 30 cents in this trade. Just, I know where my real stop should be down here at 395.80 or so from a structural standpoint. But I do get out early in this one. Yeah, so I think I'm out here just knowing that it's not moving the way I want, and then let's reload and see what it does. And then looking from a higher time frame, you have a gap down, a really strong gap down, and it's risen since then. So although it's gapped down, the momentum for the day is up. And I'm scrolling through other stocks that I'm watching just to make sure that okay, everything's in line. The tick chart, it's above the zero. It's coming into it now, but the fact that it's still above zero, we're still, in this strong uptrend. So I go back to SPY a bit here. Let's fast forward. There we go. Now, this is the reason why I want to start these reviewing, so I can go back and look at some things. And this is one issue I have pretty consistently right now is when momentum dries up and the trend goes from, say, the early trend to more of an established trend where it kind of bounces back and forth and consolidates. I'm having difficulty either sitting on my hands or holding the position or even kind of game planning what I should be doing. So in the next couple of minutes, we're going to see a lot of ins and outs. I'm still long here due to it not flushing the way it should or the way that I am normally used to seeing something flush. The biggest issue for me with going long in general is the pullbacks are slow sometimes they're fast. It's all different, and yet it's still strong in an uptrend. Usually when shorting, this should just fall and it should just go straight down. So the fact that I'm seeing this price action the way it is and this speed on the tape and where kind of it's placing it, I should be thinking, okay, give it time to develop to go long. Now, eventually, I do get into that mindset after kind of going this back and forths. I'm here again looking for this break, and then you get this little semi break, but again, it's still not getting anywhere. It's still lower high. Can't get in. And then, okay, I'm definitely out at some point here. I think in my mind, it hasn't dropped. One of my rules is once it turns these EMAs and the market structure, which the low would be here, and has a candle closing down there, then I should for sure be out. So I guess there's still thought in my mind. But again, like I said, when it didn't break here, that's a sign that, okay, be ready to hit out if necessary. And the fact that this higher volume is coming in should be concerning, right? And it's just slowly trickling down. And I added more. So for my reviews, perfect example of why this isn't good. I'm adding into a position where the trend is changing. Although it is still an uptrend, and that's what I should be looking for. getting in at that point was a bit premature. So I do hit out, leave it that way. Then I get short. So this is a bad short. It's starting to be a short based off my rule sets, but it's a bad short because I'm in it too early for the short. I should be waiting for this to get under this part of the structure, close below it, and both of these EMAs should be starting to move down. And we really want to see it get under VWAP. VWAP for me is this purple line here. So that's what I really should be seeing. I do have a nice top to risk against, and I am short this. And I do get lucky here. This isn't skill. I got lucky here when it comes down here and taps. And it does tap here. And this is, again, why you should be looking for longs in an uptrending market. It does tap there. It comes back. And I have seen this in this current market where, it'll drop, it'll pop. And I do want to see it come back down. If it doesn't, then I'll just take my L's around here. But it does. And that's something I actually want to note for myself. I have seen it a few times, just reiterate, like, yes, things can get away from you, maybe cover some, but it can come back down usually. If it doesn't, you just take your ultimate stop loss where it needs to be, but you can take off sides as it comes back. So now, really, in this area, it's still, from my perspective, on a bigger time frame, right? It does look like it's still weak. It's still under these areas. It is trending down. It is trending down. But when you look at the hourly, the 30 minutes, it's pretty much just a bull flag, and the pullback isn't very strong. It's still maybe 50% of the 30-minute. It got there, it tapped again. Short wasn't really there. RVOL is at 1. For SPY, that's relatively low. But the one thing keeping me honest, or should be keeping me a little bit more honest, and this is the tick chart. It is in the negatives, but it's not really getting to like -3 to 600, where you need that really, greater than 500 to start moving it downward more. And it's really not getting there. And that's something that I'm still working on getting better at. But again, so like here it is. I do have a rule where if I'm shorting or longing below or above VWAP, VWAP is supposed to be my target. It didn't hit there. I mean, you see it move away from the tape. I should be out as soon as it tapped there again and couldn't get off it, because that's basically just telling me this doesn't want to drop, so get out. Take your licks. See, like it's just fighting at VWAP. And when it starts tightening like this, I have another rule that I created as of this week. If the EMAs cross and they're holding together, trade with the bigger trend or with the intraday trend, and that would be up, right? So again, take my licks here. I re-shorted just out of stubbornness, and then I finally clear my head, take a breath, I get out when it starts getting a little bit away from me, and then I'm like, okay, let's go long, because that's what I should have been doing. That's when you look at the 15, that's where I should have been. Take a step back. Like this thing breaks out right here. This is where I should be already thinking, get out. Like you have this hammer candle, I should be out. So something to think about. And then it's pretty much, I'm long here. I think I go 20 here, I go 20 here. So on my Thinkorswim account, I am doing something where I trade 20 shares, very small size, in the if I think the market's going to trend in a direction. And my purposes of that is to track my trades on holding them once I get into like a core position, so that I can eventually size up and track how I'm doing with those trades. While in my DAS account, I'm basically day trading in and out pretty constantly, which like right now I'm in a pretty good position at 396.30, and this eventually I believe trends up for most of the day. So holding that position is something I'm really working on. Like holding my winning trades is actually much harder than cutting my losers um, or taking like little bits of profit. I've gotten to the point now where I'm fairly consistent with either being flat or making a little bit. I'm not losing too much, if anything, daily. But the issue really is letting my winners run. So when I look back on these videos, just to double check, like my Boeing and Meta are very small size, but these are a piece of stocks or shares that I've let just run. I mean, Boeing's at 141 and Meta was back at one. I think I started the position at 120, or sorry, at 100. And it's like those few trades with some size that will make the difference. Anyways, so it's doing that. We're still long here. Added size there because I finally got on the right side of what the trend is. Nothing really to see on the tape from my memory here. It's just kind of just trending up. You would want to see here like how it breaks here and kind of gets rejected straight from it. But until it really gets under this structure here in VWAP, possibly down into here where this broke out, I'm not too worried. So I'm just holding it. I do have my target, I believe, at the pre-market high, which is like 397 something. So I think 397.40. Yeah. So yeah, take off basically half my size at 397. That's where my target is. Just trending down, trending down. Coming back up. There we go. Comes up. And then I take that there. And then it kind of starts just consolidating here. And this is like I was saying earlier, the reason why I did the SPY trade on my Thinkorswim account. It's areas like this where I'm working on, okay, I'm in a good position. I have a core. I should let this ride. Take out at next spots, which 397.50, 398. Those are the next areas I should be looking at as targets. Yeah, but like as it just chops in here for a while, I think, yeah, and it's not breaking that pre-market high and like going the way I would want to see it. Again, and I think looking back at this, it should be because this is more of an established trend right now. It's not necessarily in like the breakout portion of the trend, which should have been earlier here. This is more, as you can see, consolidating a little leg higher, but then it's consolidating again. And I should be thinking, okay, it might end up retesting this. I think, yeah, so let's go back a step. So a couple things. I see this price action. I see this turning. In this current market, things turn very quickly. So I didn't want to stay in something that I was a little uncertain about. So I think if we go back a bit, I get out right here. And knowing that, okay, I'm going to get out here. I'll re-enter if it looks good to go for the long, but I want to book what I have because I know that this could work against me very quickly in this current market regime. So I got out there. It's still holding that EMA. I know that's still something that I want to do. This, again, for me is a signal. The hammer candle into the EMAs or a support level or market structure-wise or any of the combination of all of those is a place for me to put some risk on. Right now, at least for the last maybe month or so. This is something that I like seeing. It moves up. So this is where I should be taking off. I should have taken off as it broke that high earlier. What happened here? Yeah, so this is a perfect example of why I do my reviews. I'm losing focus here. I'm not really in this trade. This is my trade. I should be long in this. I do see this rejection here, and this scares me. So I exit, and I go short. I go short because I'm an idiot currently. This is not part of my rule set. There is no reason to be short in this trade. But in the moment, I kind of got lost in what I was doing. And it is something I'm working on. So I went short it, right? And then as soon as it came back, I had a moment where like, okay, I should be out of this. As soon as it didn't drop. So I'm at 54. I got out of this thing at essentially 56. Knowing that, okay, it came down, It triggered here. It didn't go lower, and it's coming right back. Get out. So I'm out of it. And then I switched positions again to go long, as I should have been long the whole time. And then I think at some point I'm just like, okay, I can tell my mental fatigue is out for the day. So I think that's it for these. And then I basically just stop for the rest of the day. Don't want to push where I'm at because mentally I can tell I'm fatigued. I'm going in and out too many times. I had a few of that here, and you can stick with it for so long, but eventually you're gonna hurt yourself, and that's what it was here. So yeah, good way to start my reviews. Yeah. So something I'm working on, and then when you look at it again from this perspective, it looks so easy. The pullback, it goes, pullback, or the consolidation on the hour, and it goes. I got a little stuck on the 5. So I do have some changes that I'm making and some of the things that I want to go over. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, so whenever I see a hammer candle now, that's going to be a place of interest, specifically on the long side. I want to definitely think about that. Some other things, building a position using my max stop loss or a portion of it. So right now I have a few sizes for trades, but maybe if I want to work into a bigger position, using my max stop loss as that would be something to think about. Let's see. But yeah, I think those are the key things for today. So we'll end it there and we'll go over the next stuff tomorrow.